It's a warm welcome to you viewers as we meet once again on this episode of Crime Watch, a program brought to you by your police service, the Zimbabwe Republic Police, to inform you of our roles and operations. I'm your host, Tendekai Dandaradzi. It's good to have you along. The COVID-19 pandemic resulted in the closure of borders to curb the spread of this virus. However, there was an increase in the cases of smuggling and stock theft in Masvingo province. Crime Watch visited ZRP Sango border post and spoke to Assistant Inspector Kumbirai Chanaiwa, member in charge ZRP Sango border post, who highlighted their concern over stock theft.
We've got a challenge of stock theft cases here. And from January up to now, 58 cattle were stolen, and we managed to recover 37 cattle. We had 7 cases from January. Of recent, we had 1 case of stock theft which was reported to Malipati base. But normally we only assist complainants who before making follow-ups into Mozambique, because all our cattle are being smuggled into Mozambique. So we assisted them, we crossed into Mozambique, and the cattle were recovered, 9 cattle.
The police is working hand in glove with the local community leaders to fight stock theft, and we spoke to Chief Sengwe of Sengwe village, who had this to say.
Makaya kuyiwa tihomu ikulukumba ehelang na sweswihatlo paya ya ri kona especially na nga tshama boundaries yala se swa hi hlupha ngopfu swinene ngopfu ha trya ku va ni mhaka leyi na mapolisa hi va nyikela mhaka leyi.
As Provincial Command, we are happy to report that we set up a cattle committee. The main purpose of the committee is to handle issues of stock theft that would have occurred in Zimbabwe or Mozambique. At Crook's Corner, the main problem is smuggling of cattle outside Zimbabwe. As a province, we have allocated enough resources, such as 3 Arctic cats and several motorbikes. In addition, we have good working relations with the officer commanding police, Gaza province in Mozambique, who readily assist us whenever we need police assistance on Mozambican side. We are also happy that the provincial commander of the South African Police Service always assists us with information and sharing of best practice.
In a disturbing story, police in Kadoma arrested 4 people in connection with 12 cases of rape and robbery. The culprits would break into the victims' houses, tie the men, and let them watch as they take turns to rape the females.
We've arrested 4 criminals who are illegal gold partners from the Zombe area. The 4 were moving around, raping and robbing complainants. They are facing 12 counts. In 4 scenarios, they raped and robbed the complainants. In a disturbing case, they went to one of the homesteads and tied the husband of one of the rape complainant. They took the complainant about 50 meters away. The complainant had a 2-week-old baby. Despite that, she was bleeding and under pain. They went on to rape the complainant. We realized that after robbing these complainants of their valuables, they could move around to food outlets and use the valuables as surety to food outlets owners, and promised to come back and pay them after having disposed of their gold ore. Let me assure Kadoma residents and those visiting Kadoma that we are still on top of the situation, like we have demonstrated before on issues of matches. We are still in control. But I only urge you to continue working in us, hand in glove.
Crime Watch takes a short break. Join us in the second segment. Welcome to the second segment of Crime Watch, where we are focusing on insurance matters, paying attention to public passenger liability, popularly known as passenger insurance. Our main aim in Liaison in the Insurance Council of Zimbabwe is to raise awareness on the importance of public passenger liability. Road traffic accidents involving public passenger vehicles are on the increase, with some being declared national disasters. Public transport accident victims are found wanting when they need medical treatment for injuries sustained, mainly due to unaffordability of proper medical attention. Let us hear more from the Insurance Council of Zimbabwe representative.
Public passenger liability is a mandatory insurance cover that all public service vehicles should have for the benefit of passengers. In the event of an accident, passengers who are injured or deceased are compensated. The compensation that is provided includes medical expenses for the wounded, disability benefits for those that experience permanent disability as a result of injuries sustained. The cover also provides for death benefit and funeral expenses in the event of an unfortunate loss of life.
Section 38B of the Road Traffic Act, Chapter 13.11, requires all public service vehicles to have a no-fault insurance cover to compensate passengers in the unfortunate event of an accident.
Non-compliance with this statutory provision by public transport operators is a major challenge. This has resulted in many victims of accidents not being compensated. Unfortunately, where there is no insurance cover, there can be no compensation. In instances where there is public liability cover, claims are not submitted as a result of lack of knowledge on the part of the operators and also on the part of the passengers. Some operators simply don't submit claims due to personal reasons, even if there is a policy, while others prefer to privately compensate victims in the event of an accident. However, there is a danger that passengers are shortchanged, considering that they don't get full compensation, unlike if they were compensated through the insurance policy. The compensation limits and premium rates have been affected by monetary policies and inflation. However, the government of Zimbabwe is working to review the limits to ensure that passengers who are injured or deceased in accidents are adequately compensated. Just like with any statutory requirement, enforcement of compliance is executed by law enforcement agencies. In the case of public passenger liability, ICZ relies on the ZRP to enforce compliance. ICZ is in constant liaison with the ZRP to render any assistance whenever it is needed.
There are some challenges that we are facing in the enforcement of the Act, especially on private motor vehicles. For public service motor vehicles, it is clear that the Act provides that the certificate of insurance is supposed to be displayed on the front windscreen of the said motor vehicle. So it's easy to identify whether the vehicle has got a passenger insurance or it doesn't have. But when it comes to the private motor vehicles, Section 68 of the same Act provides that a person may be issued with a Form 265 or a notice to appear in court for them to produce the certificate of insurance. And this is done within 7 days. That is where the challenge is, because you cannot see whether the vehicle has got the insurance or not at a certain given point. Of late, we have seen a number of unregistered vehicles plying our roads. The challenge with these unregistered vehicles is that they are not insured, because any unregistered vehicle cannot be insured.
The Insurance Council of Zimbabwe is in the process of reviewing its service delivery processes in response to customer needs. Claimants can now submit their claims online through email. When an accident occurs, the injured victims or beneficiaries of the deceased can now submit claims, provided that the public service vehicle operator provides them with the necessary documents required to process the claims. The Insurance Council of Zimbabwe is constantly embarking on awareness campaigns to educate passengers on their rights under the public passenger liability cover, and also encourage compliance with the statutory requirement among public service vehicle operators. Whenever we roll out these campaigns, we experience an increase in inquiries and also submission of claims.
We also spoke to ZUDAC, Zimbabwe Union of Drivers and Conductors, and GACO, Greater Harare Association of Commuter Omnibus Operators, on the level of compliance with the statutory requirement to have public passenger liability cover.
We have already taken steps to make sure that we enforce or foster compliance in our public transport system, to make sure that passengers have got the right to safety, passengers have got the right to insurance. These are prerequisites. We have partnered with transport operators and other transport associations to make sure that whenever a vehicle is on the road, it must be a priority or a first thing to be done to make sure that every vehicle has got passenger insurance. We have actually carried awareness campaigns in all the ranks. Our campaigns do not even leave ZUPCO. We have spoken to ZUPCO drivers, we have spoken to ZUPCO operators, and they are willing to make sure that they adhere to the rules and regulations. Why do we do this? We have seen passengers being left for dead. We have seen passengers being neglected as a result of the fact that they don't even know who ICZ is. But thanks to the association or the partnership that we have with ICZ, where we do have programs where we do together to make sure that information dissemination to the public, to the nation of Zimbabwe, is done such that they may know where to go in terms of claiming.
It is critical that every other operator makes sure that they've got a passenger insurance on their vehicle, as it to assist in having passengers attended to in hospitals after our vehicles face a mishap of having an accident. We urge every operator and even the passengers themselves to make sure that each and every vehicle has got a passenger insurance. A passenger, when you are getting into a vehicle, we urge you to check that the vehicle has got a passenger insurance, because it will help you in the event that there is an accident.
Kana mchikwira public transport, make sure is it insured? Pare guarantee kuti iwe ukaona tsaona unoripirwa. Ine ndakamboita tsaona nemabhasi ndikaona compensation yako chokwadi chaizvo.
Ndinokurudzirawo muri yeZimbabwe kuti patinofamba musati mapinda mumotokari yamunenge muchafamba nayo, ikodzero yenyu kuti mubvunzewo kuti mota yenyu iyi ine mapepa akakwana here, mapassenger insurance.
Ukaenda kumushika-shika uko hapana chaunowana kana chimwe chete zvacho. Ukakuvara unozonera wega, and otherwise mnacho andotiza futi because havasi registered. Ukakuita mota dzinenge dzakadziregistered idzi, unenge wakatotsigira, unenge wakatozvidzivirira zvakakwana.
To the members of the public or the commuters, I encourage them to avoid boarding vehicles that are not insured, because at the end of the day, when these vehicles are involved in road traffic accidents and these people are injured or they are killed, they are not going to get any form of compensation from the insurance industry. It is the right of the passenger to go and inspect the vehicle before boarding at the windscreen, so that they see whether or not that vehicle is a certificate of passenger insurance. If they are in doubt, they must actually ask the crew to show them the certificate of passenger insurance, so that they are rest assured that they are safe, they will be compensated.
We are now approaching the festive season that will see an increase of traffic volume on our roads. This will certainly result in an increase in the number of accidents experienced on the roads. The Insurance Council of Zimbabwe will continue to disseminate information on various platforms, encouraging compliance with all insurance regulations, as well as road safety.
Crime Watch takes a short break. Join us in the third and final segment. Welcome to the third and final segment of Crime Watch. Police continues to equip its members with the requisite skills and knowledge in the fight against crime. Recently, 24 police officers graduated with diplomas in forensic accounting offered by the Institute of Chartered Secretaries of Administration in Zimbabwe.
This graduation ceremony could not have come at a better time than now, when illicit financial activities such as corruption, cybercrime, and money laundering have become a cause for concern. The diploma in forensic accounting is therefore one of the professional qualifications that bridges the gap through equipping members of the police service with the requisite forensic investigative skills cardinal in the fight against commercial crime. Congratulations, Makorokoto Amhlope.
The president of ICSAS, Mr. Tawona Munjandi, commended police for taking a step further in upgrading the skills of its members.
Please note that criminals have become so sophisticated and you need to continuously update or upgrade yourselves and avoid trailing behind.
The festive season is upon us, and here are some security tips to guide you through.
Today we are going to talk about security at the business premises during the festive period. Security checks. Always walk around the premises to check any weaknesses in the perimeter wall, the electric fence, the razor wire. Once detected, you'll be the first person to come up with a solution to repair the gaps or the weaknesses identified. Electric fences. These will deter would-be criminals and can be connected to the alarm or to the rapid response for detection of intruder. Engage employees. It is advisable that whenever you have new employees in the organization, you need to induct them to understand the roles to take in the event of intrusion, security beams or outside door sensors. These are a good intrusion detection controls. They can detect the presence of an intruder before he gets close to the building or before a crime is committed. Power backup. There is need to have a security power backup at each given time, so that the electric gate, the CCTV, the electric fence are working at all times. In as far as our system is concerned, it comes with a battery that will last for 8 hours. However, the current situation is we may experience power outage for more than 8 hours. Therefore, there is a need to have a power backup in the form of solar systems, generators, etc.
We now move on to road safety issues with the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe.
About 30% of all traffic accidents occur at intersections. Research has also proved that 40% of all urban accidents occur at intersections. The Traffic Safety Council and Zimbabwe Republic Police set out to find out what could be the major cause of accidents at intersections. One of the causes that we discovered is congestion. When an intersection is controlled by traffic lights, motorists must follow what the light is instructing them to do. However, if there is a police officer at an intersection, a police officer has statutory powers of overriding the intersection, and the instruction being given by a police officer must be followed. This means that even if you are facing a green light, you have to follow the hand signals that are being indicated by the police officer. Another place where we witness congestion is at an uncontrolled intersection. That traffic light is not working, so this renders the intersection uncontrolled, and motorists should apply the correct rules of precedence. You give precedence to traffic coming from the road on your right. Whilst you apply the same rule of giving precedence to traffic coming from the road on the right, you should ensure that if you go into the intersection, you are able to go through. If there is no proper exit, then that traffic should not enter the intersection. Another major cause of congestion is double parking and remaining stationary in a dangerous position. We walked along Leopold Takawira, where there are 4 lanes going in the same direction. We noticed that the flow of traffic had been constricted to 2 of the 4 lanes. In the outer lane to the left, there was a car that had double parked.
In the outer lane to the right, there was also another driver who was double parking. So we find that all the cars were now moving in 2 instead of 4 lanes, and this is another cause of congestion. This intersection in the background is controlled by a mini circle, and drivers must follow rules of precedence. We noticed that some of the drivers were going in the wrong direction. At a mini circle, a driver is expected to go in a clockwise direction. If a driver decides to do the opposite of that, it will also create congestion. Another major cause of congestion, especially in cities, is the illegal picking and dropping of passengers at undesignated places. If you look in the background, there's a sign found in SI 41 of 2016 which prohibits people from attempting to secure lifts at such a place. Actually, the law says you are not allowed to attempt to secure a transport at this place within 500 meters on either side of the sign. The same sign prohibits motorists from picking or dropping passengers. So we should be able to see a flow of traffic. So we'd like to appeal to motorists to ensure that they do not pick or drop passengers at undesignated points.
Moving on, we'd like to congratulate the Zimbabwe Republic Police for scooping the first prize in the Best Security Service for Innovative Solutions category in response to the COVID-19 Global Pandemic Prize at the recently held Harare Agricultural Show. Before we come to the end of this week's episode, we'd like to inform you that police have arrested a third suspect in connection with the death of Tapiwa Makore, aged 7. The suspect, Mauduni Zarira, aged 42, has since appeared in court. We now move on to the people on the police wanted list. Gilbert Jaya, whose last known address is house number 1057, Kuwadzana Phase 3, Harare, is wanted by Dzivarasekwa Police Station for a domestic violence case. Dono Chapindura, aged 36, is wanted by Magwegwe Police Station for malicious damage of property. His last known address is number 57359, New Lobengula, Blawayo. Million Shava, aged 52, of number 13 Mativenga Road, Rutendo, Redcliffe, is wanted by Redcliffe Police Station for a case of rape. If you have any information that may help the police in the location of these people, feel free to contact any nearest police station or contact us on the following details. Our National Complaints Desk number is 0242 703 631. The website address www.zrp.gov.zw or email us at feedback@zrp.gov.zw. We also have a Twitter handle @PoliceZimbabwe and a Facebook page, Zimbabwe Republic Police. You can also watch any of our Crime Watch episodes on ZRP YouTube channel, Zimbabwe Republic Police. As the Zimbabwe Republic Police, we encourage you to continue wearing your face mask, washing your hands regularly, and maintaining social distance to curb the spread of COVID-19. It has been a pleasure having you along. From me, Tendekai Dandaratsi, and the crew behind the scenes, pleasant viewing.